Hello, 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 what's up? Welcome back to a brand new and exciting video on this channel in, of course, you guessed it, virtual reality. And we are going to talk about the Oculus Link. I tried it out at Oculus Connect 6. Facebook flew me over to, well, give it a try for science, and I gotta say it was quite interesting to, be able to use the Quest but turn it into a PC VR headset. And we haven't seen this before. I have never tried a hybrid HMD before, so this was an adventure for sure. But anyways, in this video I'm going to talk about how good the Oculus Link is, and I will give you all the information you need to know before you start diving into this software. Now let's get started with a very simple question, and that is, what is Oculus Link? Well, that's a good one. With Oculus Link, you will be able to connect your computer with your Quest through a USB 3 cable. This allows you to play all the PC VR games and experiences that were once only available on the Oculus Rift. But in this case, you stream them to your Oculus Quest. So the Oculus Link pretty much gives you the best of both worlds. The high-end gaming of Rift when connected to a PC, and with the portability of a Quest on the go. Of course, turning your Quest into a hybrid VR headset doesn't come for free. You gotta pay for it. And that means that you will pretty much have to buy your very own USB 3 cable. Luckily enough, you can find these cables almost everywhere on the internet. For example, Amazon, or if you are not really into that, you can also go to your local media store. That should be fine too. Another option is to wait until Oculus brings out their fiber cable. And this is a cable that they say will give you the best-in-class experience. You will have to pay a whopping $79 and will be available later this year. All of my impressions, this hands-on in particular, have all been based on that very same cable. So if you are curious what you get for those $80, then keep watching. This is going to be an interesting one. Before we move on, there is one more thing I should mention, and that is the fact that the Oculus Link software will be available in November. So from then, you can actually give it a try, and it's free, so enjoy. Anyways, let's dive into the session I had with the Oculus Link. I got to play Stormland for about, let's say, 10 minutes, so it was a quickie, but I had enough time to get an idea of how well it worked. Straight off the bat, it's really impressive, it works, it's fantastic, and while I played the game, it didn't feel like I was streaming through a computer. No, it felt like I was playing a native game on the Oculus Quest. And even better was that the headset was even charging well in VR, so that's a big plus. The quality was amazing, I didn't see artifacts, frame drops, and neither did I experience latency. All of those things usually break the immersion and are annoying when you are in virtual reality, but those were not present, except for one moment. Ooh, yes, I did run into one issue. So yeah, at the start of the demo I had to solve a little puzzle that would let me proceed to the next section of the game. And the moment I finally solved it, there was this structure that started moving, and I could see that the PC was struggling to stream this to the Quest. The frame rate started to drop, and for one moment it felt like everything was in slow motion. Now, two things could have happened here. First option is that the computer that they used was not powerful enough to run Stormland. I think this is unlikely though, since I got to play Stormland on the same type of rig with a Rift S for 2 hours, and I did not experience any frame drops. That gets me to the second option, and in my opinion, this option makes way more sense than the first one. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Feedback in the comments is always welcome, but what I tried here was work in progress. This was not the final version of the Oculus Link, meaning that the software could have failed at some moments while I was playing Stormland. It could be that there was simply too much data that had to get pushed through this cable, and the software wasn't able to manage it, and then it just failed. Could it be possible that if a lot happens in a certain scene, the software needs to really pull hard to make it happen, to send out the complete signal? Maybe. I wish I could give you an answer on all of this, but as I said, this was the only moment in those 10 minutes that it gave me problems. It could be the hardware, it could be the software. Who knows? Anyways, I'm done rambling about this 5-second moment where I was, of course, and I should question the power of the Oculus Link. But let's go back to my overall experience. I had a blast. I really did. If I'm going to be honest here, I had a far better experience on the Quest than when I played Stormland on my Rift S. And this is mainly because of its specs, because the Quest has better black levels. It's using an OLED display, and that's why it usually looks better when you play games on this standalone headset. And with that, I should also not forget that if you have problems with the lack of an adjustable IPD slider on the Rift S, you can now use the Quest instead. So it does solve a couple of minor issues. Next to that, I did not notice a difference between hopping from 80 to 72 Hz, but where there are pros, there are also cons. Oh yes. I have said this many times before, the Oculus Quest is too front heavy, and that's mainly because of its head strap. If Oculus had made a better strap, this wouldn't be a problem. But for now, that's one of its biggest downsides. For longer play sessions, the Rift S still wins. I couldn't see myself playing a title like Stormland for more than 2 hours with the standard head strap. Of course, if you want to, you can replace your head strap with something more comfy, but then you get into the modding territory, and it's totally up to you if you wanna, do that. But it will solve the problem of the Quest being front heavy. Okay, so last but not least, the most important question of all questions, and that is, did the Oculus Quest kill the Rift S with its new cable? And the answer is surprisingly yes, but also no. Let me explain. So, if Facebook decides to continue to sell the Rift S for $400, I am afraid the Quest will slowly destroy it. You could say that it has a couple of advantages over the Quest, such as its comfort, tracking volume, its 80 Hz and the full LCD display, but that isn't enough to compete with the Quest at this point. It's a fact that these are things that most consumers simply don't care about. They just want to play games, lots of games. And with the Oculus Link, you can now expand that library even more. While the other way around, that isn't possible. You can't play all those exclusive Quest games on the Rift S, only when the developer starts to port it. The only thing that will hold people back from buying the Quest is its comfort. That's about it, but some are going to mod it and then they solve this problem themselves, and others might return it and trade it in for a Rift S, but the majority of consumers will stay with their purchase. So all of this doesn't take away that if the Rift S wants to stay in the race, it needs to be sold for a cheaper price. If not, I wouldn't be surprised it will be discontinued by Facebook the moment the contract with Lenovo runs out. By that time they might have a new headset, or the idea Rift once was will fade away. We'll see. I don't know what its future is going to be, but it's clear that Facebook is placing its bets on standalone right now and not the computer, the PC market. Of course, they will continue to innovate in that space, but we can see that their attention now is going more towards the mobile part of gaming. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Be sure to leave a like on this video, lets me know you care, and be sure to share your opinion with me. Do you think the Rift S is dead? Do you think it's actually, more alive than ever? Do you think the Quest is competing with the Rift S, or doesn't it compete at all? I'm very curious about your opinion, about your thoughts on this whole Oculus Link cable, but I do think we should have an open discussion, because there are things that can definitely change in the near future for not only the standalone scene, but also the PC VR scene. So this is an interesting step into the future, and I'm very eager to hear more about your experience when the Oculus Link finally launches in November. Now it's time for me to, sign off, and as I always say, and I see you all next time. See you in the metaverse.